Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Dark Jack, and in this video I'm going to share with you my new custom classes. Now, I made a video earlier where I shared with you my custom classes and stats, but since then I've learned a lot about Black Ops 2, and I'm going to share with you all the things that I've learned since that first video. Now, my first class here is the SMG Ghost class. I use this if I want to stay off the radar while rushing. This is a good class if you're playing solo or if you're playing Kill Confirmed. And I'm running Hardline with Ghost. I find that Hardline is essential if you want to get those high kill streaks. So the VSAT is normally 1200 points, but with Hardline it's only 1000. And then if you use UAV and counter UAV, you can basically get it in only 6 or 7 kills. And then I run Ghost as well, because if you use Ghost and you're moving, then they can't see you if the UAV is up. So I don't run this class that often, but I do use it if I need to stay off the radar. Then I use Toughness. I used to use Scavenger on almost all my classes, but I find that with Toughness it helps me win a lot of gunfights, because I was dying so much before I put on Toughness and I didn't know why. And I found out it was because I was not using Toughness with the quick draw handle. And when you run Toughness with quick draw, it helps you win a lot more gunfights, because not only are you aiming down your sight faster, but if someone is shooting at you and you have Toughness, then you flinch less, and then if they're not using Toughness, then they flinch a lot more. So you're pretty much guaranteed to win a gunfight if you're both shooting each other at the same time and you're using quick draw with Toughness and they're not using Toughness. So Toughness helps out a ton. I cannot recommend it enough. And I'm running Engineer because I'm using Ghost, not Flak Jacket. With Engineer, I don't have to worry about dying because of the Claymores and because of the bouncing Bettys. Then I run a C4 to help dislodge campers. And I would like to be able to use Scavenger with C4, but I find that Toughness is much more useful for staying alive. And I run a secondary, a 5.7 pistol, which is a great weapon. And I use that if I need to switch to another weapon or if I run out of ammo. So if I'm reloading with a PDW and I see an enemy, I'll just switch to the 5.7 and kill them rather than waiting to reload. And I use the PDW SMG because it's the best SMG in the game. It has a high capacity of 50 rounds, and I use Suppressor and Quick Draw to stay off the radar and to win gunfights. Then my next class is my PDW Flak Jacket class. This is the same class as before, except that instead of using Ghost, I'm using Flak Jacket, and instead of Engineer, I'm using Tac Mask. So I use this more often than the Ghost class, and I use this class to play the objective. This is a good class for domination if you want to hop on flags and plant and defuse bombs, because with Flak Jacket and Tac Mask you don't have to worry about dying because of the Semtex and all the concussion grenades that people spam at the flags. And I find that also if you use Smoke with the trophy system, that's also extremely useful to capture flags, because you can throw smoke on the flag and then someone else on your team can throw a trophy system, so that will destroy the Semtex and the concussion grenades. And the trophy system also gets you points. It gives you 50 points for every enemy equipment or leaf that it destroys. And so then my next class is the FAL class. I use this class if people on the other team are using the target finder or are playing really cheap. It's also a very good counter sniper class, and it's probably the most overpowered class in the game. I'm running the same perks as before: Hardline, Flak Jacket, Toughness, and Tactical Mask. But instead of C4, I use Claymore to watch my back, because this is a much more defensive and camping class. And with Target Finder and Select Fire, it makes this gun extremely powerful because it's full auto and it's very easy to see people with the Target Finder. And I use the 5.7 if I need to switch to another weapon or if I run out of ammo. So this class is really stupid overpowered. Then my next class is my Assault class, and I use a different assault weapon. So this class changes from time to time. Right now I'm using the MTAR with Reflex Sight and Quick Draw. That's my go-to attachments for assault rifles, with the same perks as before. And I run the C4 to dislodge campers and the 5.7 in case I run out of ammo, because I'm not using Scavenger. Then my next class is my Shotgun class. I use this for close quarters engagements. This is also a good class if someone on their team is using the shotgun. You can use the shotgun to counter the shotgun with the same perks as before, except that I'm running Scavenger instead of Toughness, because you don't need to run Toughness with a shotgun. It's a shotgun, so it's just a one-shot kill. You don't need to worry about long-range gunfights. And then I use the C4 with Scavenger, which is a great combination because you can keep using C4 over and over again and really annoy the other team. And I run Long Barrel and Laser Sight, which helps me win gunfights because the Long Barrel increases the range and the Laser Sight helps me to win gunfights when I'm hip firing. And I run the 5.7 for medium and long range engagements, because if I see someone at long range, I'll just switch to the pistol, because the shotgun is not good at long range. And then my last class is my situational class, and I recommend that each of you have a situational class that changes from time to time. And right now I'm running the M8 with reflex and quick draw. This is a very good class for winning long-range gunfights because this is like the M16 of previous Call of Duty games. It's a 4-round burst, and I use flak jacket, toughness, and tac mask if I want to play the objective. Though I could also run scavenger and C4 as well, or I could use select fire as well. But I find that when I use this gun with select fire, it runs out of ammo too fast. So these are my custom classes. And then for my score streaks, I'm running UAV, orbital VSAT, and Lodestar. This is my go-to setup. But if I'm playing against good players, I'll run UAV, counter UAV, and orbital VSAT instead. Then this is my emblem. I have a Borderlands emblem with the nuclear calling card. And then my KD ratio is 3.71, and my win-loss is 7.17. I finally got my win-loss over 7, and I have almost a 400 score per minute. And then my game modes that I play the most are Domination. I almost always play Domination with a full party in Ground War. And when you do that, it makes the game very easy to do well consistently because you always have a VSAT up if you're playing with good players. Then I also play Kill Confirmed in Ground War, and I also play Team Deathmatch in Ground War. And so I really don't like any other game modes except for Ground War with a full party. That's the easiest way to do well in this game is play Ground War with a full party. It's easy mode. And I've also played a little bit of Hardpoint, which I really don't like because of the spawn system. It's really crazy. And the weapons I use mostly the PDW for rushing. I have a 2.68 KD with that, and then I've got my M8, which is my next most used gun, with the 3 KD, and then the FAL with the 3.07. So I do much better with assault rifles than I do with SMGs, because with assault rifles you can keep your engagements at long range, whereas with the SMG you're going to be at close range, and so you're much more likely to die in close range gunfights than you are at long range. Then I use the shotgun. The Remington shotgun is great as well. And then I use a bunch of other guns as well. I don't use these as much, but I'm trying to experiment, and I find that with these guns I just run out of ammo too fast when I use SMGs other than the PDW. And I've used a few other assault rifles, but I find the FAL and the M8 are the best. And then there are several guns I've never used once, so I don't see any point in using these that much. Then my equipment is the C4 mostly. I use the C4 a ton, and I use Bouncing Betties and Claymores if I want to watch my back. Then my score streaks are the UAV, which I always use. And then after that I've got my orbital VSAT, which is the second most used kill streak, because I always run these two. And then my third kill strike depends on the situation. I've also used Lightning Strike, which I don't use that much anymore. And then counter UAV, and then the Lodestar is my most used killing kill streak with over 700 kills. And I've used a few other kill streaks as well. I really don't use the other high kill streaks that much other than Lodestar. I've used Swarm and Dogs a few times, which are fun to use. And then I never run Care Package, and I never run anything else. So that's basically it. This is what I use to do well in Call of Duty. These are my options. I run Tactical Layout with Force Sensitivity, Full Gamer Tag Indicator, and I use Colorblind Assist. And then I have multiplayer loaded from default, because that's what I use almost all the time. And these are my friends. My friends that play Call of Duty right now are also really good players. And it makes the game much easier if you're playing with good players, rather than playing solo, because when you play solo you have to worry about losing because of bad teammates. But when you play with a party, it makes the game much easier to do well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.